had recorded a video of this exact video that I'm here to make right now. And like a dumbass, I didn't answer 2 of the questions. So here I am. Hello everyone, Britton here, also known as Samoki Dude, and today I am back here with another one of these challenge videos that people like to do. Or not challenge, it's a tag. My bad. I'm not doing anything stupid on here. But yeah, I'm gonna be talking about the Midyear Book Freakout tag because I saw Alexandra Roseland's video talking about this exact subject, and because I thought she's very attractive, and also because I didn't have anything else to do, so I thought, well, why not talk about this Midyear Book Freakout tag? Now I have to do it again. This'll be fun. So, let's get into this. There'll be 14 questions, so I'm probably going to skip around a little bit because I'm probably going to forget stuff. But, yeah, so let's do it. Best book you've read so far this year? Well, I am afraid, my friends, I have read a couple of books that are very, very good and have kind of been competing for the best spot. Mystic River, The Prophet, Galveston, what are some other ones that I really enjoyed? Razorblade Tears I just finished up, that was really good. Sorry, my voice is hoarse, I've been talking a lot. Pale Blue Eye, very good stuff, right? But yeah, no, but the book I would say was the best, at least so far, is The Lies of Locke Lamora from Scott Lynch. I really enjoyed that book. It was one of the biggest books that I read this year. I covered it already, so I don't want to give too much away on why I enjoyed it. But the prose, the world building, the characters, all of it is just fantastic. Really good stuff. And, yeah, no, really fun stuff. Really enjoyed it. And it really blew me away. I really enjoyed just the feast of the imagination that book was, which I think what the best of fantasy should do. So yeah, Lies of Locke Lamora is my book for right now. Best sequel you've read so far this year? Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie. Yes, I have finally completed the first Law trilogy, and I was very shocked by the ending. It was just such a freaking, as I called it on my Facebook page, a emotional nut kick of an ending, and it was very, very distressing. But I really enjoyed it. It was really ballsy way to end that story, but at the same time, it felt very natural to the story. So, good job, Joe Abercrombie. You've done it. New release you haven't read yet, but want to. Lone Women by Victor LaValle. Victor LaValle has become one of my favorite horror writers of the past couple years. I love The Ballad of Black Tom. I love the Devil in Silver. I really enjoyed The Changeling, which I just read this year. Very good book. It reminded me a lot of the Hellboy story, The Corpse. And I'll just keep it there. If you've never read The Corpse, by the way, go check it out. But that's beside the point. Yeah, no, good stuff. I really enjoyed that book. But Lone Women by Victor LaValle is definitely the most anticipated book of this year, that has come out this year, that I have not read yet. I do want to at some point, because I really enjoy LaValle's stuff. It's also a Western, so yeah, you know me, I love Westerns. Yeah, great stuff. I really enjoy that, so I'm really hoping that Lone Women is as good as his other stuff, but I've already got some faith in him. He's already, hit it out of the ballpark 3 times, so I think he'll do pretty good on this one. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Now, I couldn't decide any of this because I am notoriously terrible at keeping up with new book releases, because there's a bunch of other books that I'm trying to read. So, Yeah. I'm not going to pick a book for this year. A future book that I am anticipating for the future is the last book of Marlon James's Dark Star trilogy, which started with the excellent Black Leopard Red Wolf, which, by the way, I did a video of. Go check it out. And also, go read Black Leopard Red Wolf. It's an amazing book. But yeah, I really enjoy that book. I have Moon Witch Spider King up here, which is the second book of that trilogy. I don't know if I'm going to read it this year. I'm planning on reading it next year, because I don't think I can read it this year. I mean, that's a really big commitment for this year to kind of put it into some of the other books I want to read. So, yeah, I'm going to wait till next year. So, sorry, Moon Witch Spider King. But that's beside the point. I'm looking at my copy up there. But, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that book, because it'll end the trilogy, and then makes me want to reread the trilogy so I can read them all. And they're all very, very good. I wish that Black Leopard Red Wolf was more well known. I mean, it's an excellent book. I mean, it's really, really good. Biggest disappointment. That one was complicated, because I don't usually try to read books that I wouldn't like. But the one so far is probably Down the River Unto the Sea from Walter Mosley. It sucks, because I really enjoyed Devil in a Blue Dress last year. I thought that was a pretty good book. Great noir novel. And this one has a great setup, but it kind of just falls apart as the book moves along. And that's really annoying for me, because excuse me. It's really annoying for me, because I was really looking forward to reading that book, because I liked the concept, but it didn't deliver. It just kind of peters out. There's also a lot of sex in it. Now, I'm not a prude, but Mosley's protagonists are very horny people. That is all I'll say about that. Biggest surprise. There have been a couple of books that have thrown me off this year. Light from M. John Harrison, for example. My buddy Jason's A Song for the End of the World. Jim Thompson's The Killer Inside Me. But the book that really surprised me the most, at least in like how much I loved it, I'll keep it positive here, but that is The Prophet by Michael Koreeda. An excellent, excellent novel, I thought, that really explores themes of trauma, grief, how grief can destroy your life, and ultimately about atonement, and ultimately about redemption. It's also just the story of these two brothers who are dealing with this horrible situation, and then this situation ends up happening again. And no cliche bullshit in this. It's a very emotional read, and it also covers one of my favorite subjects outside of reading, which is American football. But that's beside the point. Good stuff. I enjoy it. Well, I don't know if enjoy it's the right word, but I really, really, really admired that novel. I thought it was a very strong book. Beautiful story that needed to be told, and it was a novel that brought a lot of. It was a novel that I just got through, despite the large print copy that I had. That was like 400 something pages. Yeah, I just went through it. It was wonderful, wonderful book. Favorite new author? That is easy. Scott Lynch. Because again, like I mentioned, I'm going to try not to mention his books too much. So I'm going to mention him again a couple times here. Yeah, love his. I love his style. I love his prose. I love his world building. I love his characters. He's really got a gift for being one of fantasy's best writers working today. That is also something I anticipate for the future. More Gentleman Bastards content, because I know he is coming out with a novella in the near future. I hope he gets to that. I hope he does well with that. So, yeah, good luck, Mr. Lynch. Newest fictional crush. Man, this was tough, because it's hard for me to, like, crush on people who are fictional. Well, actually, not really. But I tend to more, like, associate, like, crushes with movies. Like, movie crushes. But this year, going back to Scott Lynch, I'm going to mention I'm going to mention Esri from Red Seas Under Red Skies. And I imagine her being played by Anya Cash from The Boys. I think that's her name. Who played Stormfront on The Boys. Playing her. And, yeah, she's great. I think she's just like, she's sassy. She's funny. She loves literature. She loves poetry. I also enjoy literature. Not much of a poetry guy, though. While I am glad that our boy Jean got some game, I would certainly, if I were in that situation, I would be tempted to steal his girl in that situation. Good Lord, I hope my voice is not cutting out. Newest favorite character. Oh man, this was tough. It's tough because there was a couple of characters I really enjoyed this year. Going back to surprises, the Vor from Brian Catling, but you know, it's not really else. Favorite characters. I was gonna say Locke and John, but I've mentioned the Gentleman Bastards enough, so I'm gonna try and not talk about them. Though I do love them quite a bit. I think they're great characters. Newest favorite character. It's tough. From all the books that I read. I got one. I read Best Served Cold recently, and I really enjoyed Morveer from that. He's just this utterly... I would hate him if I met him in real life. I should just bring this up. But he's such like a smug, vile individual. But he's a very entertaining, smug, vile individual. He's just a guy who is clearly has sociopathic tendencies, but you feel bad for him because he's just such a fuck up and he doesn't understand how people work, so he says like these really bad jokes and they're really, really stupid, but man, it's fun to watch him. Also Shanked from that same book, I think he's an awesome character. He's this really creepy assassin who ends up having an agenda of his own. It's really, really interesting. I really enjoyed him. He was great. A book that made you cry. Now, I don't usually cry that much in books. Some might call me a very heartless individual. It's not true, but it is hard for me to cry, especially when it comes to books. But a book that got an emotional reaction out of me, that was not The Prophet or Last Argument of Kings, excuse me, probably Mystic River from Dennis Lehane. I'm a huge fan of Dennis Lehane. I think he's a great author. His Kinsey and Gennaro series is fantastic. His Shutter Island is also very good. But Mystic River might just be his masterpiece. I mean, it really... A lot of people have told me how great it is over the years, and I'm telling you, they were right. It's a very, very heartbreaking read, especially towards the end. Excuse me. It didn't make me cry, but it did have an emotional effect on me, especially towards the ending. It was just a very sad, downer end, and it was really, really sad. That one's my pick. Book that made me happy. This was tough because I already talked about Liza Locke Lamora a lot, so I'm not going to mention that again. So I'll just bring up Some Die Nameless from... oh shit, I did this again. Pluto, but going back to the book that made you cry. Pluto did make me cry, but it had an emotional effect on me. There was a couple of moments, but especially in the first arc, there was a little mini arc called North 2. Broke my heart. I'm not gonna dare spoil what happens. You just have to read it for yourself. But that one just, really got to me on an emotional level, and very sad. I know I look not so sad right now, but man, sad stuff. Back to book that made me happy. I don't know. Some Die Nameless. We'll go with that. Very good thriller from Wallace Strobe, who's a former journalist. I think maybe he still is a journalist. I don't know. But, good book. Wish I read it during the summer, though, because it definitely has that summer vibe. Great thriller. Some great characters. Has that satisfying kind of pulp feel. The writing's very lean, very to the point, which is nice. Excuse me, I'm recovering from an illness. It was just happy seeing rich assholes get their comeuppance, and yeah, it just felt good. It felt good reading that. Most beautiful book I have acquired this year. Well, there are two books I can mention. My buddy Jason gave me The Dwarf, which he covered on his channel. I think he'd appreciate me bringing this up. I really like the kind of medieval look of this cover. It's very like weird and unusual, and it kind of makes you unsettled. But yeah, no, good stuff. I really like this cover. But I also really like this cover for Sinlin of Sins by Josiah Bancroft. This is a book I've wanted to read for a while. And check out and you see, I really like this cover. The guy's stuck in the little tower. Looks like he's in some sort of closet. I really enjoy it. It's really fun. But, yeah. No, I'm looking forward to reading this, but also I really enjoy the cover. It's really nice. I think this is a very, very beautiful looking book. So, yeah. Yeah. What books do you need to read before the end of the year? I listed some of these out before the end, but all I'll say is too many to count, man. I mean, I need to catch up on like Saga and Black Hammer, got Suttree, Embassy Town, Gun with Occasional Music. I'm going to start that tomorrow. And the Ass Saw the Angel, Hollow, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, Public of Thieves, Beyond Redemption. I'm sure Epic Tales will be very pleased to hear that. I definitely want to read that by the end of this year. Between Two Fires, I'm sure Jason will be very interested to hear that. Other comics like Luther Strode and Firepower, and again, just so many books, so many comics, so little time. Content creators you've been loving. Well, I watch my buddy Jason's channel a lot. He's a great guy. I don't always agree with him. In fact, we butt heads a lot. But I enjoy his reviews. I think he's very, very smart, very opinionated guy who has a lot of interesting things to say. And I really like the nuance and thought that he puts into his critiques. Philip Chase, I've been watching him a lot. I really enjoy his stuff. I had him on my podcast recently, which was awesome. I can't wait to put that up. It's coming out this next Monday. The Fantasy Network, Jimmy. I also had him on my show a while back. Really enjoy his stuff. Smart guy, very curious, and I really enjoy his books. I'm actually doing something with him sometime in the future. I'm very much looking forward to that. Excuse me. SFF 180, also known as Thomas. I've watched him for a while. I really enjoy his channel. I think he's a smart guy. He really knows what he's talking about. I don't watch his reviews as religiously as I used to, but he's got a lot of great reviews. He's kind of like Jason. He puts a lot of thought and nuance into his reviews that I really enjoy. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. People I'm going to be having on here, or I'm going to tag. I'll have Jason come on again, because why not? I don't know. I was very surprised he did it the last time I tagged him. Epic Tales, I know he's done a couple. My buddy Chris reads books. Hope you're doing okay, buddy. I'll tag him, because he was the one who inspired me to do the last tag video I did. And Carlos and Yolanda from StoryTube. Really enjoy those people. And they're good people. Also hoping to have them on the podcast. Anyway. So, yeah. Check out my Twitter. Go to my Goodreads and Letterboxd, which have my written reviews, which are probably more coherent than the one you just heard right now. Also, check out my Discord. I'm actually tampering with it at the moment, so, yeah, just let me know if you can't join, and I'll invite you. Just comment down below, or contact me on like Twitter or something. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care. Bye bye.